The temperature of the milk in your coffee can make or break your coffee. In this video, I'll talk you through the industry standards, how to achieve them, and what they're good for when making coffee. Stick around. All right, firstly, give the customers what they want. If someone comes into your espresso bar and asks for a cool coffee or they ask for an extra hot latte, give them what they want. They want to experience that. There's a good chance they don't have any taste buds left anyway, but we always want to serve our customers what we want. So let's kick it off with the extra hot coffee. This sits at about 80 to 85 degrees. Now, why would anyone want to drink an extra hot coffee? There is plenty of people out there drinking extra hot coffees. You've got a whole generation of people like the boomers that grew up on tea, they grew up on instant coffee. They've been drinking boiling hot water for a really long time and they're very used to it. This is the experience that they enjoy drinking their drinks. They want it to last the conversation with their friend. They want it to last for the drive. So not everyone is a boomer that likes hot coffee. Maybe you just want that coffee to last a long time. Now, one thing about boiling hot milk is that when you drop that on your coffee, it is going to affect the flavor of the coffee. I've seen many baristas resist making extra hot coffees because they don't want to change the flavor. But unfortunately, the customer just kind of misses out on what they actually asked for because you're a bit precious about the flavor of your coffee. They're used to it, it's going to affect it, it's going to potentially make it taste a bit more burnt, but it is what they've asked for. So extra hot sits around that 80 to 85 degrees. Now, let's go to the other end of the spectrum and let's talk about the 50-degree coffee. This coffee is definitely more in the specialty space. There's a lot of people drinking iced coffees now, and a cooler coffee is definitely a pretty normal experience, especially once you go to places that are more specialty. And one of the things that you'll notice is whenever you're drinking a coffee with really good latte art, you might notice the milk being a bit cooler. So that's because you can do much better latte art with cooler milk, 50 degrees, 55, and you will get much better silkiness in the milk. You'll get less bubbles, less separation. The milk is well textured and combined, but we're not getting that splitting effect that we get once we heat milk. We also have a lot of alternative dairy drinkers these days, and the oat milks and the soys, they really don't like going over 60 degrees. So if you can pull that back to 50, 55, that's going to be your optimal latte art and alternative dairy temperature. Just be mindful that it might be amazing for latte art, but it's more of a dine-in experience. If someone's getting a takeaway, they might find that it gets cool too quick, or it's just not a great long-term coffee to be drinking, and it's not the standard. So if you want to keep everyone happy, I'd be aiming for what is the industry standard optimal temperature, and that is 65 degrees. 65 degrees is not hot enough to split the milk, but it is hot enough to still pour really nice latte art. It's comfortable enough to drink. It does accentuate the flavors in the coffee. It haven't got to a point where we're actually burning or adding negative flavors to the coffee. We like to monitor our cafes and make sure that they've been trained well, they've done our fundamentals training, they learn all of this about the temperatures of the milk. That way that when people go to any of our cafe partners, they'll get a similar experience. We definitely don't train people to do extra hot coffees or cool. We want that industry standard so that people can get a consistent experience and enjoy that coffee every single time. Sorry, let me just clarify. We do train our cafe partners to learn all the different milk temperatures, but industry standard, we want every coffee to be going out at 65. And if someone requests a different temp, we can do that for them as well. The way that we get these different temperatures, we want to calibrate our hand, but the best way to do that is to use a thermometer. Something like this Rhino-Ware thermometer is great for coffee. I've seen a bunch of thermometers. If they get really cheap and nasty, they just don't do a consistent job. Baristas start to not trust them. Don't put them through the dishwasher. Don't mistreat them and drop them. They can be calibrated, but we want to make sure that they're set up correctly. So use a coffee company like ourselves to set your cafe up and calibrate your thermometers so that everyone's using them to get the right temperatures. They're reasonably easy to work with. If it's not your style, you can get the ones where they're the sticker on the side of the jug. They just don't survive the dishwasher, so they don't last as long. But anything that you can start to have a gauge, and if you're a new barista and this is a totally new space to you, I would definitely recommend getting a thermometer, because what we want to do is we want to be heating our milk with our hand on the side. I see baristas using the tips of their fingers. Your callus will build up and go away, so you actually get an inconsistent reading across your fingers. Try to use the meaty part of your palm. We want to use that part and put that on the side of the jug. You can use the bottom, but there just seems to be a more consistent temperature coming from the side. So we're holding with one hand, we're steaming and we're feeling, we want to feel that go all the way from cold to hot. You can't start steaming and then touch it and you'll surprise yourself, feel like you've burnt your hand and quickly turn it off. But what we're doing is we're calibrating. We're holding it on our hand, we're watching the thermometer as it rises. And then what we have to do is we have to work out what our machine's settings are best for. On a machine like this Marzocco Linea PB, it's so quick on the steam, so much steam power. I would have to turn off at 45 degrees, 50 degrees for the thermometer to catch up with me. You can use digital thermometers, they're a bit quicker. These are probably just more practical in a cafe. But I would say you need to learn what your machine is going to end and get that temperature correct at 65 degrees. So the way that we learn how to temperature milk the correct way and calibrate our hands using the palm of our hand so that we don't use our fingertips is we're going to watch the milk, and as it increases in temperature, you have your hand on the side from cold all the way to hot so you don't get surprised when you touch it. And at what point you can't comfortably hold that, you'd have a look and maybe that's at 40 degrees. If you have to turn off your steam at 50 degrees so that your thermometer ends at 65, you need to count how many seconds there are between the moment you can't comfortably hold that and the moment that you would turn that off. Now, if you've got sensitive hands and you can't hold on to it past 35 degrees, you need to count how many seconds it is between 35 degrees and the 50 degrees that you have to turn the steam on off for it to end at 65 degrees. And this is calibrating yourself. So on a fast machine like this, I might basically not be able to hold this and I can turn that Marzocco machine off straight away and it will continue to build up heat and I'll get to that 65. Whereas if I'm on a home machine, I'll find that it'll take a lot longer to steam up. Maybe I can't comfortably hold that at 40 degrees, but it takes like another 6 to 8 seconds before it gets to 50 degrees. And then I will have let go, but I'll be waiting till I see that 50 degrees to turn off, or I will be counting the time between 40 to 50 degrees so I can eventually get rid of that thermometer. So there you have it. That is how you calibrate your hand. That is how you learn how to get rid of the thermometer and just comfortably make all the different temperatures for customers. I will say that if you're going to that cooler temp, obviously we're going to turn off a bit earlier, land at that 50 degrees. If we're going to boiling hot, maybe once you can't hold it, we're counting for 6 seconds instead of 3, we're adding time. So that's helpful to have the thermometer, but eventually, once you get faster and more confident, you can get rid of the thermometer, and that's how you get those 3 key temperatures, 50, 65, and 80 degrees. Am I right? Is this what you're doing in your cafes? Do you drink hot coffee? I'd love for you to put it in the comments. Let me know if you have any other tricks. Is there any other tools or any other accessories that you use to monitor this in your business and in your cafe? Or maybe you're just making coffee at home, and what is your take on extra hot coffees? Go to town on the comments. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about how to pour milk, how to spin, and if you're interested in all things coffee, check out our channel, subscribe to the channel, support our business with buying our coffee from artisti.com.au, or even better, have me come into your cafe and help you serve your customers even better with our coffee and our support. Reach out to the team. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.